talk. All fine. It's on paper. It's all good. But you see, I think the issue is raising about certain declarations that we have signed. There is progress in support of the agricultural sector, which according to the Maputo Declaration has to be 10% of the budget. And we are on 9%. Look, brilliant. But again, in that allocation, what we're then advocating for is a non-partisan distribution of those inputs and that kind of support to say, okay, this is for Zimbabweans. So let's see that support.
And government has been very clear. The new Minister of Lands and Agriculture has been very clear that inputs, for example, under the Command Agriculture Program are not distributed on a partisan line, but on one's competency as far as farming is concerned.
Well and good, but I don't think all the agriculture is under command, you see. There's going to be support in rehabilitation.
And as the church now, where do you come in to ensure that government walks its talk and that you support them in implementing those measures?
Brilliant. Now, the church is the voice of the people. That's the prophetic voice. We stand in the gap for the people. Because, I mean, look, these are the same people who come to ask for support. We have complemented government efforts in relief services over years. So it will be actually good for us as well if the government walks the talk. I think the bottom line is walking the talk. We can have very good policies. We are notorious as Zimbabweans producing very good policy documents, but then operationalizing those documents has been an issue. Right. I think I'll ask Collins to come in there.
Yes, Collins.
Why? Because we have certain departments that we have within, for instance, the Zimbabwe Council Churches, how it also augments government efforts.
Thank you. Basically, as has been said by the pastor and Namai Kwaramba, we are generally encouraged by the tone of the budget that was set by the budget. Is it considered much of the aspirations of the people? But we also pray that these proposals are transformed into reality. That's the first point.
Yes.
For that it benefits the citizens of Zimbabwe. As Zimbabwe Council of Churches, we have different programs that we are running as Zimbabwe Council of Churches on active citizenship and good governance, on Christian unity and social cohesion, and on economic justice and youth empowerment. This enables us to really participate and really encourage the stakeholders that are going to be implementing some of the proposals that are in the budget, that we are going to be more of watchdogs. Tinenge tichingoshanda nemamwe ma-government departments nemamwe ma-stakeholders anenge achiimplementa some of the reviews that some of the proposals that have been put into the national budget, and that is our main mandate, to be watchdogs. Most of our work will be on watchdogs, on the sidelines, trying to advocate and trying to influence how these things are going to be implemented. Because the biggest challenge has always been political will to implement some of the proposed interventions. So we need to really ensure as the church that we continue participating with working with other stakeholders to ensure that proposals that are made by the government in place, they are followed to and they speak to the aspirations of the people.
All right, our time is 3 minutes past 9, and at 10 past we'll be getting into Enkundleni with Uncle Senzo and Spatisiwe Mpofu. But right now we are just having this discussion with the Zimbabwe Council of Churches on their views regards the 2018 national budget statement. Now, moving forward, what do you suggest that can be done to improve these allocations and how our economy grows?
I would say that we expected the budget statement to really detail some of the proposals that the government would do to ensure kuti vawana ma resources akakwana kuti vakwanise kusapota ma-programs ehurumende. For example, taifunga kuti hurumende ichayanisa ma-proposal akanakisisa kuti ikwanise kudhira nenyaya dziri kutaurwa dzema-illicit financial flows, dzemari dziri kunzi dzinobuda mukati menyika dzisingakwanisi kupinda mukati me-the national port, the national cake where everyone can benefit, especially dziri kuma
measures achitotaurwa chichimwe pamusoro pezvakataurwa chamunofunga kuti chaifanira kunge chakataurwa chinobatika chisipo chatisina hatina kutonzwa kare.
Inenge yangovawo nyaya yekuti tichinyatsoona zvichiitika paground kana zvataurwa zvinge zvichiitika paground. I think they have clearly outlined
kuti kutaurwa zvakataurwa hazvo asi chasara kuti tichiona
zvichiitwa ndo zvakakosha izvozvo.
All right, tinotenda chaizvo. Our time is 5 minutes past 9, and some of the messages that are coming through on WhatsApp. Anzi churches pa budget apo kungotaura deno tabatana kuti nyika yedu isimukire. And all right, please don't try and call on the WhatsApp platform nekuti atizengeta ma messages anobva adzima. And someone says I think party budget say yakaisirwa my elections should include amount set to compensate victims of political violence, as every election is synonymous with kukwadzwa kwevanhu pama elections. These are some of the views that are coming through, but we certainly hope that we won't be seeing some of this violence that are taking place. And someone says havasi kunyatsotaura kuti zvizve vaida kunyatsoona zviri mu budget measures akawanda vari kutaura takatonzwa aripo. So keep the messages coming through on 0775 897 897 0775 897 897. Please note that number is strictly for WhatsApp messages. Now Rev Sifelani, moving forward, I think mubvunzo yongo sina kunyatsopindurwa kuti saka tochifambira mberi sei.
Kufambira mberi kwatopo Linda. Isusu sema citizens enyika yedu, we need to come together and give support where support is needed. Chakupa mienzaniso pane kola atumira message uyo ati nyaye ma elections ne violence. Isusu tine zero tolerance panyaye violence of any nature anyway. Changova kubuda mu 16 days activism against gender-based violence. Tuti isusu we have zero tolerance nenyaye ye violence. Tataura nyaya support tambotaura nyaya support kuti mama areas ana kunyatsopiwa support izere ndokupa muenzaniso. Pane violence yakaitika kubva nakugara. Violence has been a culture in this country, and there is need for national healing, and there is a commission inotarisa nezvozvo. Kune Human Rights Commission, kune Gender Commission, kune Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission. Mukatarira zvakabuda mukutsanangurwa wachinamasa vakuti ivo varoda kuti vaite sort of downsize kuitira kuti the only person ananga ari full time ndi chairperson wecommission and vamwe volunteers. Zvakare hapana mari yakatakaona yakanyatsodzvikiti yakaiswa, but we are in agreement kuti as a nation we need national cohesion and healing. Again tiri kubvumirana kuti varipo vane ukopo-kopo vafanira kuti vasungwe neZimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission. Tiri kuti zvinozoitwa sei pasina mari yakanyatsoti tsvikiti yaiswa ipapo. I think that's one of the concerns dzimwe dzetinadzo. But going ahead, I think zvaakuda kuti tosimbisa maoko senyika mumwe nemumwe wedu in our different capacities. We work together to rebuild this glorious nation. Hapana zviro zvatichaita, hapana chauya kuzotitira basa iri ratotarisana nesu senyika.
All right, and coming to you, Collins, you represent the youth constituency yevechidiki. Your parting remarks as we conclude this program, kuti how do we move forward mukusimudzira nyika yedu budget riripo dare reparliament is yet to debate this budget presentation yakaitwa yoyo before it is implemented. Asi tichitarisa basa revechidiki rakamira sei as we move forward?
I think nyaya iripo ndiye kuti we need to ensure kuti participation yema youth iriko in all sectors. My youth ari kwanisa kuwanawo access to ma resources, ma funds ekuti vakwanise kutongawo even ma businesses avo, ma funds especially in nyaya dzema research. We know my young people vane ma different skills or different abilities, and if we invest more into research, we see more young people vanenge vachikwanisa kuzoparticipatawo kubetsera kuti nyika ikwanise kudevelopa nekuti vanenge vane ma ideas akasiyana siyana. Saka tinongofungira kuti ma youth achakwanisa kuwanikwa space yawo mukati menyika, especially even the tone yakasetwa nebudget ichiratidza kuti mayouth ane maallocations avari kuwana. We need a specific monitoring mechanisms to ensure kuti mayouth achakwanisa kubenefita, ma-resources akaallocatwa kumayouth achakwanisa kusvika kumayouth. Also welcome the development yekuti ma-vocational training centers maybe in 5 years they will be in every district. It also embraces kuti my young people ndo vanhu vakawanda mukati menyika and they need more priority to ensure that they are educated and their skills are channeled towards the right direction. Saka tinongotarisirawo kuti mayouth acharamba achipuwa mukana, achipuwa space mukati mema-dialogues anenge achiitika mukati menyika inoi.
All right, it's not in the Chairo. An interesting message that has just come through that I would like Rev Sifelani to comment on before I go to Sevia to give us her parting remarks. Hansi, good evening. Churches say they are against corruption, yes, and yet they cannot even preach against corruption to senior government officials, heads of parastatals. Can they comment on that?
I'm not too sure where they have not heard us preach against that. The church has been preaching against injustice of any kind. Maybe they need to take that issue up with their pastor. We do that Sunday in, Sunday out, because Jesus is about justice. He is about raising the poor. Jesus is about, leveling the playing field. So I'm not too sure. I cannot really comment on that because maybe
all right, thank you very much. And now, Sebia, your parting remarks is how we move forward and what we can expect from the church in this new dispensation as we wrap up the program.
Thank you, Linda. Like we mentioned in the beginning that the past has been very progressive in regarding engaging government to push them to do what's supposed to be done. There are still serious gaps, especially in the social protection aspect, because I've also been referring to the Zambia social protection framework, which is very smart and implementable along the four pillars of 3 P's and T, which is protection, preventive, promotive, and transformation. Because gradually here, particularly on the social service sector like health, particularly health, you do find that the critical services have been commercialized gradually to an extent that almost every health institution someone has to pay regardless of background. So it is our plea to the government to ensure that everyone is capable of affording even the fees, even the walking distance to the nearest health institution. Also taking into account the issues of women and disabled people of the society. They need to be taken cognizance of that, particularly the provision of services, facilities that the disabled people can also afford in terms of accessibility, even to the buildings as well. That needs to be incorporated into the budget as we move forward.
All right, now, Reverend Sifelani, as you also give us your parting remarks, are we going to see the church lobbying parliamentarians?
We have been doing that since time immemorial. For those who are not aware, the Zimbabwe Council of Churches was actually involved in the liberation struggle of this country. We have been active since 1964, and we will continue to use our different mechanisms of advocacy, different platforms, different fora, different indabas. We will continue to do that because the church becomes the voice of the people. As long as the people are crying, the church will continue talking. So, because our duty bearers, our legislature, they are voted in by the people. So we'll continue to make noise, and we'll continue to do so respectfully, but with firmness.
All right, thank you very much. That was Reverend Sifelani Samuel, who is a faith leader from the Zimbabwe Council of Churches. He was here with Sebia Kwaramba, who is the Zimbabwe Council of Churches Programs Committee member, and Collins Shava, who is a program assistant for economic justice and youth empowerment. Thank you very much for coming to the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, and until next time, it's goodbye for now. Stay tuned for Enkundleni coming up next.
Christmas. What is Christmas? Christmas? Well, Christmas for me means family. It means sharing. And besides thinking about ourselves like we've been doing all year round, it means giving. So go out there and give. Give, give, give.
It's December. The festive season is here.
Season's greetings. Here's